So today, I mean, dealing with real estate that we're dealing with, that a lot of people are dealing with, man. There's a tool out there. If, a lot of you guys may be familiar with or heard of it or whatever the case is, and that's 1031 exchange. So what I did, I pulled it up, man. Where's it at? What I do? So I wanted to know, what is a 1031 exchange. All right. So this is what I was able to pull up. So it says under the section 1031 of the United States Internal Revenue Code, a taxpayer may defer recognition of capital gains and relate federal income tax liability on the exchange of certain types of property. So it's tax deferred. It's basically what a 1031 exchange. So from my understanding, I was thinking that basically you didn't have to pay taxes, but you basically kicking the can down the road. Basically, is what you're doing in that situation, which can be huge when dealing with real estate. Right. So this now, instead of just paying Uncle Sam up front, you can use that money in order to make more money, and then pay it at the end when you decide to sell. Now, some people decide not to sell. It is actually when they pass, then it's being paid or whatever the case is. So, but yeah, so it's kicking the cans down the road. So have you ever done one of these before, Cody?
Well, dealing in the note realm, we don't have a 1031 exchange type scenario. Again, notes are not considered real estate; they're considered personal property. But I have some good friends that actually run a 1031 exchange company here in the Portland area, and they've helped me set up some self-directed IRAs. But on a 1031 exchange, it's part of the IRS tax code, which you talked about, section 1031, and it does allow you to defer capital gains taxes on investment property that you own. And you have to, when you want to exercise or do a 1031 exchange, there are some restrictions and limitations in that. One of which, of course, is you have to be able to purchase a like kind at the same value or greater value than the one that you're selling. And then there's certain time restrictions as well. So if you sell your current property right now, you have what is it? And I'm not quite sure on the time frames, something like 60 or 90 days to 90 days to identify the new property to purchase, and then something like 120 to complete the exchange part of it.
I think 180. I think it's
180 then. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. So those are some of the things to think about. And, oftentimes you find an investor or a landlord who has sold their current property, but finding that like kind to upgrade can prove difficult. So sometimes the timing on that is one of the biggest challenges when dealing with the 1031 exchange.
Yeah. So the thing would be is to basically go find that property first. Or whenever you have that thought process, look, I want to sell this property, it's important to go find that property, or maybe multiple properties that you can buy at one time that equals up to what you're, something more than what you're actually selling for, or whatever the case is. So
right.
That's probably the biggest thing, man. A lot of people end up paying that capital gains tax because they cannot find it or they wait too long. From my understanding, when that happens, it's like you didn't budget your time right. Right, you didn't do something right in the whole mix. You shouldn't have to do that. There's so much real estate out there that shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, so like Cody said, so you got to find something that's equal to where you're at or greater. So nothing down, anything down, of course, it blows that whole deal up. You got to pay that capital gains tax. so I was doing some research on it. Can you do your personal residence as a 1031 exchange? From my understanding, you can't. I wasn't quite clear from that. So it's got to be an investment property.
It's got to be non-owner occupied investment property. That's correct.
Yeah. So if you have a property that's for sale, let's say you own it outright, I guess you say, and you want to go ahead and sell it, you want to kind of avoid taxes or whatever the case is, there's no way to do that in your personal residence. So that's interesting to know.
Yeah. Of course, the tax code does say on your personal residence, if you occupy that property, what is it, 3 out of the previous 5 years, then you are exempt from capital gains on that up to a certain amount. And I think that might be like $800,000 in proceeds, something to that effect. So you actually can avoid capital gains taxes on the sale of your personal residence as long as you've occupied that property 3 out of the previous 5 years.
Yeah. So it's definitely a great tool to use, man. And there's a lot of people out here actually using those, man.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of people actually using it. So definitely, if you have any questions about that, definitely reach out to maybe a real estate attorney. Maybe you can kind of walk you through something like that.
Yeah, and there's various companies around the country that
Yeah.
specialize in the 1031 exchange. And again, I'm familiar. I've got some people that I know here locally. In fact, it's 1031exchange.com. And so they were pretty early in on it because they got that URL and they've been doing it for like 30 years now. So
Yeah.
but there's a lot of folks all over the place that are references or resources for that. Yeah.
And the key to it is make sure you vet those people as well.
Absolutely.
It's very important to do that. You want to send that money over to that, you don't go in your hand, go directly to their hands or whatever the case is. And you don't want nobody walking away with your money in your pocket. So make sure you vet those people and do it again, check references and all that good stuff, man. And even there, you need to watch them.
Yep.
You still need to watch them. So